Currently at the Gullfoss waterfall. As you can see, there's two waterfalls. If you look into the distance here, you can see where the water is coming from. You can see one waterfall.
Amazing stuff down
You can see the waterfall here. And all this is being fed from glaciers and yeah. So currently we're in the geyser fields, and as you can see there's hot steam rising from the ground everywhere. So hopefully we'll get some footage of one being released right in front of us. So see you guys in a minute. There it is. Ah!
So basically what I'm going to do is just give you a quick briefing, tell you where we are, what we're doing, and how we're going to do it. So I'll start with where we are. Where we're standing right now is called the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which you may or may not know is a mountain range caused by the tectonic plates kind of pushing together, coming up to the surface, and now actually pulling a part of it at the top. So this Jurassic Cliff behind you there, that's the end of the North American tectonic plate, and this area basically pulls apart at a rate of about 2 to 3 centimeters per year, which is an average. Sometimes it's nothing at all, sometimes a bit more than that. Now it's 4 kilometers until we get to the Eurasian plate, which is where those black lines come out of the hill over there. If you drive the Golden Circle or just out in that direction, you'll drive along the edge of it. It's pretty cool. So 2 to 3 centimeters a year, 4 kilometers, pretty long time this area has been expanding. And that means fissures like Silfra here, they just kind of pulled open over time, and any rocks that came loose during this process just fell down and got stuck in the bottom. If this fissure had pulled open fast enough that nothing could get stuck, it would just go, who knows how deep. And that's what created our bottom. It looks a bit like rubble there, so there's a little bit of up and down, it's uneven, looks pretty cool. And this process is still happening, so there's still maybe a loose rock here or there, so I'd please encourage everyone to not try to hang on to them for support, because you'll probably find that loose one, throw it down to the scuba divers and they won't be very happy with that. So try not to hang on the rocks, don't bump into the rocks, don't even look at the rocks, and everything should go okay. Obviously it's perfectly safe, we wouldn't go in if it wasn't, but just something to keep in mind. As this area pulled open here, it got flooded with water. Now how that works is there's a glacier about 60 kilometers in that direction, you can't see it though. It's called Long Glacier, or Longlukuk in Icelandic, and that provides the meltwater for Silfra. This meltwater used to travel here as a river, but what happened is, it's a little bit out of view today, but there's this little snowy hill in the distance and 2 others that are always out of view. They just did what Iceland does best and more or less exploded, so it covers this entire valley here in lava. This is all relatively new ground that we're standing on, it's just a whole lava field. Now as this lava hardened, it pushed this river underground and it gets filtered through the lava rock on its way here. And lava rock's really porous, so it takes away all the silt, all the minerals, no nothing. And it arrives here, basically as pure as can be. And this is the first place it's seen air since it was originally frozen at the top of this glacier. So it's delicious, it's perfectly drinkable. As you get in, have a sip. If you're going to drink it, my recommendation is doing it right at the beginning here, where it's at its source. The water itself is still just as good at the end, but there's also a bit of algae on the rocks, and if we kick that up, there's a bit of current that'll take it with us all the way through Silfra. So if you have a drink at the end, you may get a couple salted bits in as well. Sure, it's perfectly healthy, but maybe not that delicious. Okay, so that water is always moving. Like I said, it never gets a chance to freeze over. It's always new water, and it's also always moving from a glacier, so it's never warm either. all year round it varies between 2 degrees and 4 degrees Celsius. Ooh. Nice. In our equipment you will be nice and comfortable. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to give you a dry suit. Well, the first thing we're going to give you is an undersuit. It's a big fluffy sleeping bag onesie kind of thing that goes over top of just one thin layer of clothing that you have on, like thermal underwear. No jeans or sweaters, that'll be too bulky. And then you get the dry suit, and it's just like, it's going to seal you completely at the wrist and completely at the neck, and everything ideally under that should be nice and dry. It's perfectly normal to get a little bit of water on your wrist or your collar. Any more than that is pretty rare. So that's good. So underneath, nice and toasty. After that, we're going to give you a wetsuit hood and wetsuit 3-finger gloves that'll be like that, which means your head and your hands are getting wet today. The water's going to come inside a little bit, it's going to get stuck inside, and then it gets warmed by your body heat. Head is not a problem, can't really do anything with that. Keep your hands nice and warm throughout this snorkel. Best way to do is not swim with them too much. If you do this the whole time, the water always gets changed in your gloves, and after a little while they do get cold. Keep them as still as you can on your side, behind, wherever. Should be nice and cozy. Usually the only one that gets a bit cold is just that little index finger all by itself there, but the rest of the hand should be alright. Now literally the only place we cannot protect is just going to be around our mouths, because we have to put that snorkel in. So I'm not going to lie to you, it's a little bit of a shock the first time you put your face into this 2-degree water, but don't worry, after 1 or 2 minutes everything goes numb, you can't feel a thing, and then we all get out of the water looking a little bit like Angelina Jolie, alright? This is only half a joke, you do get used to it, you just gotta fight through that first minute. A lot of people will get in, go, why the hell did I do this? And then 2 minutes later you go, okay, that's why. And we'll make it as obvious as we can, you know, we haven't lost anyone yet this week.
I'm really sorry, I'm just going to have to go jump straight in. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, take a look now. Here's a beautiful scenery. Take a look to the mountains, and that is what we see. We who live here in Reykjavik, we see the mountains every day and the ocean.